There are some new questions tonight about President Obama's stewardship of the ISIS campaign and the operation of his National Security Council. It comes amid disturbing new reports about intelligence being twisted to fit political narratives. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen has that story tonight from the White House.
As a consumer of this intelligence, it feels to me like, at my level at least, we've had a pretty clear-eyed, sober assessment of where we've made real progress and where we have not.
Yet the Weekly Standard reports intelligence analysts have provided Pentagon inspectors with a year's worth of documents showing that negative assessments of the U.S. fight against ISIS were sanitized on their way up the chain of command. And the Standard further alleges that the intelligence recovered from Osama bin Laden's compound in Abbottabad was never fully exploited, its contents widely misrepresented.
As National Security Advisor, I deal daily with the full range of global challenges that demand American leadership. We're seizing opportunities and we're meeting challenges head on.
Now, some leading experts question how effectively the Obama NSC is functioning. David Rothkopf, CEO of ForeignPolicy.com and author of Running the World, The Definitive History of the NSC, told Fox News that despite some putative successes, such as the Iran nuclear deal and rapprochement with Cuba, time will not be kind to Susan Rice and her team.
I think the results are bad, and frankly, I think that history is not going to judge the president's performance or his NSC's performance very well. I've spoken to people in the Pentagon on a fairly regular basis who have said that this NSC is resistant to suggestions, advice, and interpretations that don't fit with their worldview.
The death spiral in Syria, where several nations are now waging war. The body count exceeds 300,000, and new refugees and foreign fighters are produced daily, has heavily taxed the Obama NSC and produced its most dysfunctional moments. Case in point, 2012, when the Secretaries of State and Defense, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and the Director of CIA all advised President Obama to arm the Syrian rebels, and the Commander-in-Chief rejected their counsel as a fantasy.
You know, you want a process that brings up varying points of view and allows for a very honest, open discussion. Clearly, in that instance, the process did do that, but it didn't yield probably what would have been the better result, which would have been to have taken their advice.
And then there was the president's red line on Syria's use of chemical weapons. Charlie Savage, the Pulitzer Prize-winning New York Times reporter and author of Power Wars, a critically acclaimed 800-page study of the Obama National Security Team, said the president, usually insistent on orderly procedure, stunned his team twice. First by making policy on the fly, then with a last-minute pivot away from airstrikes.
The fact that that became a red line certainly was not an output of functional NSC decision-making, because no one knew he was going to say it until he had said it. Most of his policy advisors in that situation expected him to move forward and authorize an attack. And it tells us that even his NSC can be surprised by the decisions he makes at some points.
In fairness to President Obama, the experts we consulted all noted that even a smooth process can yield a poor outcome, and that most of the questions and decisions that make it to the National Security Council are ones where there is no wholly positive outcome to be achieved.